Going by category, starting off with the equipment, we've got the cold suit helmet. Along with the actual cold suit, this is probably the most important suit in all of Below Zero, especially in the land sections, because it'll let you, not freeze to death. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Rebreather, S tier. Obviously, if you know at all how the rebreather works, you would know why it belongs here. Without this thing, in later game, both Subnautica and Below Zero would be just awful. Next up, reinforced dive suit. A little controversial, but I'm putting it in B tier. You don't need it. It's nice to have, but there's no world where you need it. Go ahead, prove me wrong about any of these in the comments. If you're gonna be salty, this is the biased tier list. Accept that. Next up, water filtration suit, I think it's called. Well, first off, I've literally never even made the thing. And the idea of using your own sweat and other bodily fluids to then repurpose and drink via a suit that you're wearing is disgusting. Next up, headlamp. You can see in the dark, but who really cares? I don't think I've made this thing once, but at least it has some use, so I'll put it in D tier. Next up, the compass. Depending on how well you know the Subnautica map, this could either be really high up in S tier or really low down in C or D tier. For me, I'd probably put it in B tier. I definitely like to have it, that way I can see directions and stuff, but as long as I have plenty of markers around the map and I know the general area where I'm at, I'm usually pretty good. This could be several things. I'm gonna assume it's the scanner room HUD chip, in which case, I'm gonna put it in A tier. If you have the scanner room and you're using the scanner room, you need it. But if you're a real gamer, you don't need the scanner room. You're just gonna waste your time and find stuff the old-fashioned way. Next up are the swim charge fins, F tier. I don't think I've ever used these. We have our swim charge fins. Oh, look at it. Finally an upgrade. Just get a battery charger? I don't know. Regular old survival knife. And I'm only putting it in A tier because the thermal blade is S tier. Obviously. Literally, where else would it go? If you don't put it in S tier, then I think you need to seek professional help. Also, whenever I do these tier lists, I always forget to actually order it within the tier, so I'll do that real quick. Okay, that's better. I just swapped around these two and moved some stuff around here, and then swapped around these two. Not really a whole lot of changes. Next up, the repair tool. Literally S tier. Literally S tier. This thing is required for the game. Scanner. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat myself, but yeah, top of S tier. Literally, you can't play the game without the Anyway, we have the Sea Glide. I'd say it probably sticks itself there. Definitely S tier, but not quite as important as these, because you would technically play the game without it. And the Habitat Builder, once again, literally required, but probably not as much as these first two. Next up is the Laser Cutter. You know, I'm pretty sure you are technically able to play the game without this thing. I'm pretty sure you can. Tell me if I'm wrong, or don't, because I don't care one way or another, but I don't think you actually need it, so I'm going to put it in A tier, specifically top of A tier, because it's definitely very important to have, but I don't think you need it. Next up is the propulsion cannon. I'm going to put it in probably top of B tier. It's really nice to have, I'd say it's very important, but at the end of the day, you don't need it, and it's just fun, basically. Save some time every once in a while, especially on the Aurora, but apart from that, really not necessary. Next up, flashlight, at F tier. F tier. This thing is not good. I don't know why anybody gets it. It's arguably worse than the headlamp, because the headlamp you can just stick on your head and forget about it, and it lasts forever. Flashlight takes up an inventory slot, which could be used by so many other things. It uses battery, which makes it objectively worse than the headlamp, and I don't think I've ever seriously used it, at least in survival mode. Next up, mineral detector. I'm gonna put this thing in D tier, right behind the headlamp. This thing could have its uses, but I think just its method is not very good, and at the end of the day, just get a scanner room. Pathfinder tool, very far back at F tier. I've never even used it. Literally, I have not used it once. In the hundreds and hundreds of hours that I have in Subnautica, I have never once used this tool. Thermos is pretty cool. It can be useful. I'd say C tier. Beacon, definitely up here in A tier. It's very important. You don't need it by any means. Just for an easy time, definitely use them. Grab traps, I'd say they go probably top of C tier, at least at the moment, because they are probably more useful than the thermos. There are much more important things. Waterproof locker. As nice as this thing is, especially early game when you have no storage, in early game, if you're going so long without a base that storage is becoming that big of an issue, I think that's just a skill issue. So I'm gonna put it back of C tier. Air filtration thing? You know, the pipe thing that you put at the top of the water. Death run? S tier. Anytime else? F tier. Because who uses pipes in the base game? Really? Who uses pipes? Air bladder. In Below Zero, I'd say it's probably around here. In the base game, I'd have to say probably go like, I don't know, probably top of C tier. So I think we're gonna even it out and put it right about here. Honestly, it just depends on which game you're playing. The flare, it's annoying. That's all it is. It's a really bright light that I've never seriously used in survival. Simple as that. Light stick thing, I guess you could consider this a piece of equipment. Mid D tier. Architect waterproof locker, you know, the special one from Below Zero. I'd say it's nice. Definitely better than the regular waterproof locker. I'd probably say it goes probably around here, in between the propulsion cannon and reinforced dive suit. Later game in Below Zero, this thing is amazing, especially if you have multiple bases, so why not get it? Pipe angling. Not necessary to beat the game in Below Zero, but if you want to actually beat out all the storyline, it is. So I'll probably put it here in A tier, because at the end of the day, it has only one really important use. I'd put it there. Other cool thing, this is used to get to the 1C truck module with the teleporter. So assuming you make that, it would probably go around here. Assuming you're a normal sane person, and you have no reason to, I'd put it like there. And the thumper. Just like avoid the ice worms. It's not that hard. Well, there you go. That's the tier list. I can almost guarantee a lot of you are going to disagree with a lot of things on here. Guess what? I couldn't care less. You are the one watching the biased Subnautica tier list, so I don't know, have your own opinion. I don't really care. But if you liked it, I don't know, subscribe or whatever, you know the drill, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.